Well, hello again, and welcome to another Let's Play. This time we're going to be running through a nice little childhood favourite of mine. Not a game that I ever actually owned personally, but I do recall one of my uncles owned it. The same uncle that actually owned a Sega Saturn, funnily enough. The only place I've ever actually seen a real-life Sega Saturn. But this is The Lost Vikings 2 from, well, developed by Blizzard Entertainment. I think this was actually the last sort of big game they made for some years that wasn't a Diablo or a Warcraft or a Starcraft. And this came out in 1997, originally on the Super Nintendo, but afterwards came out on the PC, the Saturn, and the Sony PlayStation, which is the venue or avenue, whatever you want to say, that I'll be playing through with today, and hopefully right through till the end, because it is really one of my favourite games, probably, of the last sort of 20 odd years or so. North by Northwest is the subtitle. Nice little play on words there. It's Lost Vikings, similar to the first one. I was considering doing a playthrough of the first one, but I thought I'll jump in with the second one. I do feel it's just a far better game, especially the PlayStation version. It's a bit more enhanced than the you know, kind of bland-looking graphics of the original. It's well, we'll jump right in with the intro, and we'll let you see that before we discuss what type of game it is. So, new game it is.
To their narrow escape from the evil Tomator, Eric the Swift, Olaf the Stout, and Baleog the Fierce lived joyous and fruitful Viking lives. Then, one day, while returning home from a fishing trip,
Are we there yet? I'm hungry.
Should have thought about that before we left.
Yes, you've eaten 3 times today, and the sun hasn't even come up.
Well, no wonder I'm hungry.
So, I've finally caught up with the mighty Vikings again. Well, I'll show them.
Guys, let me guess. You've got a bad feeling about this.
Rob Paulson voicing the red-haired guy there.
This time, you will experience the full wrath of the mighty Tomator.
Voiced by Jim Cummings.
Take them to the time-space modulation thingy and transport them to the arena.
Yes, Tomator. Prisoners, you will follow me.
And some more. Oh no, not another system failure.
Prisoners,
Get it! We grabbed some cool stuff from that robot.
I wonder what it does.
Time to find out now. We need to get out of here.
Oh, look. A big shiny thingy. And there's a sign on it. It says Don Utz.
Olaf, no!
Okay, that intro sequence will nicely set up the events for the preceding storyline for the Lost Vikings. Onto the actual gameplay. It's very much a platformer with the sort of caveat of you having multiple characters to control. I don't really need to worry about the password at this point, since I'm using an emulator.
Where are we?
I'll be able to use save
Sign
states.
said do not touch, not donuts.
What's a donut?
The voice acting here being exclusive to the Saturn, PC, and PlayStation versions wasn't included in the SNES version, which, like I say, was a bit kind of more technologically limited.
Not our ship. It's time to find a way home.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a platformer here.
oh, to talk to people, or read hints like this one.
With the caveat that you control 3 characters. These 3 Vikings here and 2 additional characters that we'll see later on once we get a couple of levels deep. Now, each of the characters has abilities unique to them, which you need to sort of combine to progress through the level. Eric the Swift, I believe we're controlling here, has the ability to run at high speeds. Yeah, I can demonstrate such like. You can also jump in the air and get a little rocket boost from his little rocket boot pads there. Compared to the first one, as you can see in the intro sequence there, they stole equipment and pieces off the robots to give them new abilities. So if you play Lost Vikings 1, Eric doesn't have his double jump here, and Olaf, and I forget what the other guy's called? Balog? You know, this guy here, whereas before he would have a bow and arrow in the first Lost Vikings game. In this one, he gets this nifty mechanical arm he stole off one of the robots, and he also gets a little energy saber. But enough of that. Basically, you're getting to the end of the level using each of the Lost Vikings abilities in tandem to solve puzzles. So let's talk to this witch and see what she has to say.
We're looking for the big, shiny metal thingy that brought us here.
Well, I know a spell that could send you there.
The witch voice sounds familiar too. I'm sure I've heard her
L1
voice in various characters in games and cartoons and the like. So we'll switch over to Balog here. I'm going to say Balog. I like that name. Kind of sounds like Balrog, the Street Fighter character. Get him to talk to the witch too,
Looking for the big shiny
even though I don't
metal
think that's
thing that brought
particularly
us here.
essential.
Well, I know a spell that could send you there, but all three
Pretty
of
much
you
telling
would
us
have
the
to
same
be
thing
here
she told
at
Eric.
once.
Press L1 or R1 to switch character.
And lastly, you have Olaf here, who has this titanium-plated shield that he can use to deflect projectiles or to, you know, serve as an obstacle between whatever enemies attacking them and the rest of the Vikings. And he also can break wind and jump up and down in the air. He also has a secondary ability, which is I think new to the Lost Vikings too, where he can shrink to a small size to fit through narrow gaps and the like. But anyway, let's see what the witch says now we're all here.
Can you take us to the big shiny metal thing that brought us here?
Well, I know a spell that could send you there. The spell has limited range, so if it doesn't take you all the way there, I'll meet you at the nearest cauldron, and we can try again. But I'll need a Cyclops' eyeball, vampire bat wing, and an Oirambropus mushroom to cast the spell again.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go.
Laying, of course, the objectives that we'll have in the next level. This little loading screen there reminds me a lot of playing the game in my youth. Again, password's not really any use to us. So, as you can see, we'll need to combine a few abilities here, although I think in this case we can just use Balrog to knock out this little flying bat. We'll get this little tooltip here telling us that.
Stole the guard's energy saber. Press X to attack.
Now, when I was doing my practice run through just to make sure that the audio levels were working and so on, I mucked this up and ran straight into the bat, so I should pull this off first time. Yep, there we go. That'll give us the bat wing that we need to further progress.
Olaf grabbed the guard's shield. Press X to block either up or down.
So obviously that means that we need to use Olaf to guard the Vikings from this fire-breathing dragon thing right now. So we might as well move Eric while we're at it. As you can see, the characters are kind of like pre-rendered, rather than they were on the SNES where it was like a sprite sort of art style, I suppose you would call it. This will give us the chance to get the eyeball. You'll find you find using Eric the Viking the most, since he's the fastest. He has the most mobility, really. Tends to be the most useful in that regard. So that'll drop the mushroom off for the witch. Let Beliog get through before the fire does its nasty work to us.
Well, we brought the ingredients for the potion.
Yeah, are we going to have to do this every time?
Teleporting people ain't like dusting crops, boy. Without precise ingredients,
Look, we don't need a lecture. Just cast the spell, alright?
That'll do with level 2. Onwards and upwards. Right, get on again with the Lost Vikings. I should probably correct one of my earlier statements from last episode. This wasn't developed by Blizzard at all. It was actually developed by an Australian video game development studio called Beam Software, who I think are now known as Chrome Studio Melbourne. Blizzard did do the SNES version, but the 32-bit versions, you know, Saturn, PC, PlayStation, were handled by this separate Australian studio.
Like a majestic eagle by holding his shield over his head while falling.
Okay, well that's obviously a cue that we're meant to use Olaf for this next section, so we'll jump straight ahead to him. Do a little bit of gas braking right there. As you can see, we can use this shield as a makeshift... Oh god, that was close. Makeshift parachute, if you want to call it that. This will give us the chance to use Balrog... Oh, sorry, not Beliog. Beliog, did we agree it was Beliog? And his electronic arm to put that skeleton in a pile of misery. This will be the first chance to show off Olaf's shrinking skill. The Lost Vikings themselves, as well as appearing in, you know, this game and the original Lost Vikings, they've made a couple of cameo appearances in various Blizzard games, I think, including Rock and Roll Racing, Blackthorn, and World of Warcraft. I'm just reading this direct off Wikipedia as I play, so don't think I'm some kind of Blizzard savant that knows all the dealings of their characters in video games and so on. Taking this straight from Wikipedia, so ain't even me being a smart ass.
If you have the right colored key, you can unlock a keyhole by standing over it and pressing triangle.
There's apparently also references to Warcraft, the original and Warcraft 2 within Lost Viking itself, but I don't know how true that is, so I'm not going to point out anything unless it's obscenely obvious. Now, that'll be the second part of the 3 items that we need to collect. Sorry, the first part of the 3 items we need to collect. Whoa, that was a bit closer than I intended it to be.
To jump higher, stand Eric on Olaf's shield. Then press X at the peak of Eric's jump to use his turbo boost.
So this is basically working as a tutorial, I suppose. It's telling you all the different ways that the characters can interact with each other. You know, standing on Olaf's shield is Eric and so on. And you know, like as you would expect from any kind of game, it kind of ramps up in complexity and difficulty and ways you have to interact each Viking's abilities as the levels go on. We're in what looks like a kind of, oh no, stay away from you. What looks like some kind of medieval, I suppose, world at the moment.
To select an item for use, press select. Then move the blinking box over the item. Press select again to exit.
But I always kind of hated that menu screen. I felt you should just be able to stand in front of a keyhole, and if you have it, just push the button and there you go. Right, Beliog, show your stuff. Come on, son. It seems almost redundant using the sword since the mechanical arm has such better range, but you know, it's there, so it might as well be used. Right, you big fat bearded guy, let's see what you're good at. Also kind of dumb that if you keep running to the left there as Olaf, you'll lower his shield and so you'll eventually get hit. Now I think we're going to have to combine some abilities here. Use Beliog to grab the key. I'm not even sure how you're meant to... Well, I suppose you could jump up and read it with Eric.
To trade an item, press select. Then press X over the item. To give the item to a nearby Viking, use the control pad. Press select to exit.
Fairly self-explanatory, since not all Vikings are able to get to all areas of the map. You need some kind of way of switching items between them. So, did I read that right? Or do that right? I might have to actually read that again. I wasn't really paying attention the first time.
To trade an item, press select.
Use the control pad, right, so should be able to give that to Olaf. He'll then be able to shrink and open up the lock. Don't even know if I had to turn into full size to do that, but you know, just out of practice, end up doing it anyway. Oh, right, we'll stay away from him until we've got Beliog on the case. This is of course how we get the vampire wing. So that looks like we've got all 3 items to end the level, so it's now going to be a case of just giving them all to the witch.
Okay, let's go.
I need a vampire bat wing.
Yeah, we've heard this blab before.
Teleported needs to be here too.
There's different level sections in the Lost Vikings. Like I was saying, you start with this kind of Transylvania horror-themed section. There's a jungle later on. There's a pirate ship. I want to say there's also some kind of technological world set in the future or something like that.
Okay, let's go.
I need a vampire.
Yeah, you've got them all there.
Hey guys, here we are.
Gee, Eric, being here's a lot like being lost or something.
Hey, lady, why are you making stew?
How can you have such a big head and such a small brain, Olaf?
Easy meat. Trush. Passwords. You forget passwords these days. It's been a long time since I played a game that had passwords in it.
Press square while running to give Eric the speed to destroy some walls.
So I think the Transylvania levels basically serve as the tutorial, like I was saying. They're going to just introduce new mechanics in each level until you get to the next section, which I think is the pirate ship, but don't quote me on that.
Stand on an elevator and push up or down to control it.
Sure could have used that advice back in the Sonic 3 days. This looks relatively easy. I'm not sure what those garlic things are for. I think they might be some kind of health restoration.
If you have too much stuff, trash some of it. Trade the unwanted item to the trash can.
Right, where's the trash can? Oh, I see. Maybe it's just junk then to take up your inventory. Can I use it at all? No, apparently not. course, I have to select the key specifically to use it. Looks like Olaf's going to be kind of useless now.
Baleog punch targets by pressing square and a direction.
Baleog. I don't know if I would have preferred to have called the character Balrog, but it's hardly my decision, so we'll just roll with it. Simple.
Use his turbo boots while Eric is jumping up to destroy some ceilings.
And those ceilings look particularly destroyable to me. I have a feeling that plays into some kind of timed section at some point later on in the game. Right, I'm not going to open that till the skeleton's been dealt with. Oh no! This is going to end horribly. Okay, that's not how you do things. As you can see, I kind of rushed ahead there and got punished for it. And I'm now unable to complete the level. We'll use that as an example of just how things go wrong when you get a Viking killed. Because, you know, you can't finish a level without the Viking. And many times you won't be able to progress to the end of the level without having all the Vikings. So, that's a good example of what not to do. I don't think there's any kind of penalty, though, in terms of continues or lives or so on. You just keep going until you get to the end of the game. Which kind of sounds about right, considering I managed to complete it when I was a kid, and I did have quite the impatient span, so it wasn't uncommon to get fed up and, you know, go and play something else, right? Going through things a bit more professionally now, I think. Actually, we should probably wait on a big metal arm here. Fart my way across the gap there, no worry. Right, now, where was I? I'm going to kill this skeleton first, since it will cause me so much trouble. Excuse me, folks. Come back. Come back. There you go. What does this tooltip say?
Baleog's bionic arm.
Well, yeah, we already worked that out, thanks. Now, I should be good from here on in. Didn't mean to do that. Tell you what, I'll get him to pick that up, since he's got a free inventory slot. Might make things just a little bit quicker. I love games where you can just sort of do stupid speeds like that. No, not that that looked particularly stupid, but I don't know, always kind of enjoy it. Right, okay, no mucking up here, because I'm pretty sure those flames are an instant kill. And I don't want to die on the same level twice. You know, I don't mind keeping a death in a level if I nail it second time round, but not when I've already died. That's just stupid. There should be no danger here, though. I'm kind of tempted to take these two guys up without Olaf, just so I don't muck this up and get one of them shot. But nah, no point in playing it that safe. That should be us on to the next level.
Okay, let's go.
I just gave you all that. Yeah, and that too. Oh, you've got to wait until they go in the cauldron, I suppose.
I'm starting to become attached to you guys. Maybe we should all stay here together.
Don't make me sick.
What?
No. Let me help here. What Baleog meant was, we're really homesick. Isn't that right, Baleog?
Oh.
Good save. I think we'll be coming up to the end of the Transylvania level. If not now, then certainly the one after this, I want to say, if I remember rightly. Maybe not.
Eric's Smash-O-Gill helmet lets him breathe underwater. Press X and a direction to swim faster.
Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I think he's the only Lost Viking that can swim, but I don't want to look like a fool by testing that out and having it backfire. One would assume so, though.
Press O to operate stuff like
Yeah, I figured that out.
Baleog can swing by grabbing a jewel with his bionic arm. Press square to grab or release the jewel.
This feels a bit cumbersome. I don't want to get this wrong, because I think you can die if you fall from a great enough height. That was easy enough.
The powerful gas of Olaf also enables him to smash some floors.
Lovely to know. Oh, I don't need to know that twice. Come on, Olaf. Should be able to jump across this gap with Olaf. Yep.
Olaf's gas
Yeah, again, I'm already sort of doing these things without reading the tooltips.
You may find extra items in hidden places.
Well, what's here then? Doesn't look like anything obvious. Well, look at that texture clipping. No, no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, come on, Olaf. Right, Baleog, you're on the case now, son. Don't muck this up. Useless. Looks like garlic, that, I think. Either way, it's not got any benefit for us. Oopsie daisy. Oh, I was hoping to be able to make it across there, but apparently not. Right, Eric. Yeah, I wonder how I get that skill in. No, maybe not. I was thinking I would... hang on a second. If I do this... I think I'm being a bit too smart for my own good with this one, but we'll give it a try, see if it works, just in case we need to use it later on. Nah, I get the feeling this is not how the game was designed, so I'm not even going to try that. But I need to get these keys, so... Olaf must be responsible for one of them. Did I pick up the silver key earlier? No, I didn't. Who's got the silver key? I wonder if I ram into the skeleton. Nope. In fact, that might be the death of me. Right, I'm not going to try that again. What? Oh, wait, I see. I've got to swing on these gems here. Oh, this looks horrible. This reminds me of playing Earthworm Jim back in the day. This is not as easy as it should be, I don't think. Come on. Okay, I get a head steam going. Oh, this is not easy. It's all about the timing. Got a funny feeling from playing this as a kid that you want to really kind of get underneath a blue gem and then just hit directly up and square to grab it. Seems like the easiest way rather than trying to hit it at an angle, but I'm not so sure. Oh no. Maybe you can only hit at an angle up while you're in the air, actually. Possibly I'm just overthinking things here. Yeah, I think I was. Right, wait on the skeleton to get out the road. Oh no. Oh my god! I did not want to do that. I got the fear there. I saw the skeleton, I saw the whites in his non-existent eyes, and... He got to me, right. A bit quicker this time, right. As soon as he turns around, jump. Not like that. Like this. Right. Oh no. Oh god. Oh my god. Showing myself up for being an amateur here. This will give me a chance to see if that garlic is actually useful. No, it's completely useless. Right, okay. Fair enough, right. Third time lucky. Well, it seems a bit easier than it was the first two times. It's just this damn skeleton I can't deal with. There you go. Right. I'm guessing I don't want to go in there with Baleog, so back to Eric. Always thought his kind of face-on animation looks a bit weird there. It's like his beard's kind of made of plasticine or something. Right now, hopefully that'll be us. Oh no. Come on, Baleog. Don't want you falling in the bloody water after all that. Right, so Eric needs to open this. Olaf needs to open that. And that should be us.
This smells like the wing of a fruit bat. Are you sure this is a vampire bat wing?
Positive.
Of course it's a vampire bat wing. What do you think we are? Stupid?
Have it your way.
This plays into the plot a little, I think. Maybe this is where we get transformed to the pirate ship. It seems a bit early though. Maybe not. Ah, okay. Right, well.